Uh, I have a meeting today scheduled with David, but I figured it might be more beneficial to just kind of send you the actual code and then show the demo of the code now. So, uh, what I'm what I'm trying to figure out at this point, or the reason that I wanted to meet with David tonight, is to make sure that the way I'm structuring this is going to be good for every single code language. So. Uh, what I did is I broke it into different sections. So I have the batch calls, the Rust calls, and different tools that all help with the API. So on here, this is in C Sharp. Let's do a example Rust call. So I'm going to show you from the front end to the back end. So basically when I run this, it's going to pop up a window, and you'll see everything kind of going on here. That first it makes the request for the document upload, then creates the address list. Here's the return from the address list all the way and down, and eventually you get the job ID of the submitted job, and it shows you each section of how it gets the code. So this in itself kind of gives you the full run through of everything that you needed to do, where you can then go break into everything that you want. So on start here Rust calls, I'll start over here. And you can see that all I'm doing is first I tell where the file is. I send in the username and password for my Stage account. And here I'm using the Stage URL, which if I want to use the main URL, I would set it to the main URL over there. I put in my variables over here. And then I create the document, I'm parsing the return to the document ID, and it just goes step by step all the way through it. So any user could go right through that code, and it gives you the full working examples. REST uses the create document, create address list, then this converts the address list to XML, and then creates the job and submits the job. So that's the structure I was thinking that we do for everything, because that shows the full flow of how to use the API. And again, exact same thing if we wanted to use a batch example, but this time let's actually step through the code so you can see a little bit more real time on here. So I'm going to put a breaker on it, and we're going to again run this, but this time we're going to do a batch submittal. So again, I'm creating all the variables. I'm using a file that's local. That's my test file, test PDF. I'm creating a XML string that is the exact one basically on there. If you want to see that more broken down of how that looks, it's actually in the code itself. This is the VB.NET version, but let me show you real quick. Oops. Wow, the screen is jumping, and I don't know why it is doing that. But here's the XML I'm sending. So it's this is a batch. Page 1 through 6 is my first mailer. Page 7 through 10 is my second mailer. So we're going through that, creates the XML. It's loading my string into an XML document, setting my username password. First we're going to create the batch ID. Now we have created batch 1972 blah blah blah. We're now going to upload the XML we just loaded there and onto that batch ID, which it just did that successfully. Now we're going to upload the PDF, which we set right here to that batch ID, which we just did. Now we're going to submit the batch ID, which is right there. Now it's going to return all the results to the string. So again, you can see here's the batch we submitted. It was batch 19729. And if I hit enter, that gives me the updated status on it because I put a check batch status on there as well. So I think this covers any type of developer that you want as far as going through. And I got this for, I did this for the .NET languages because I don't want to do this for every language until I confirm this is in fact what you guys want. But this will show you how to use the, from start to finish, the Rust calls and the batch calls. So if there's anything else I'm missing, please let me know. On the Rust calls, I did show on here how to do an address list, which I wrote a little, where's my, that's not what I want. Let me back up this real quick. So on the Rust calls, you can load the addresses right here. So I created a little address item thing so they can load as many addresses as they want and send it. So if this works, I will build every language on this format. All the other languages are done as far as samples go, so it's just a matter of me structuring now so everything gets created identically. So how it works in C Sharp, we're then going to have it work in Ruby, Python, Java, etc. The only exception to that is probably PHP, and the reason I'm not going to do PHP that way is because PHP is more of a web language. So rather than have it run as a script, I'll probably have it run as a website where someone just puts it on there and clicks a button and it starts. So it kind of gives everyone a full macro view of how everything works, where you can build off of it, which I think is the goal. But I'm fully open to suggestions, or if there's something someone does not like, let me know. But again, if you want to submit a batch, it all starts with a start here batch. If you want to submit a REST API thing, it all starts with that. And these examples over here of submitting a batch and everything can cover virtually any of your APIs on there. So if you wanted to use a different API, one of the examples would be in here already, so you could kind of see how that works. I think for step 1, this is good. For step 2, I'll probably start adding additional API things in there. I'd like to actually get a full thing in every language for every one of your API calls, and then also get the class structure. What I don't like on here is if you're a novice programmer, you might look at this and go, okay, well, letter 8.5 by 11, I want something else. Well, I want to put an interface so it actually forces the proper things in here. So it works like a real API or a real SDK. Again, please let me know what you guys think or what you guys want me to change. I'm going to send this code on a Dropbox link as well for the .NET version so you guys can run it. If there's anything else you guys want, let me know, and then that would be very helpful before I put all the languages in this format.